The boxing world has long been captivated by the specter of the fight that never was or the fight we always wanted. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Even years after their 2015 mega fight, speculation about a rematch lingers in the minds of fans, promoters, and pundits alike. Pacquiao's recent fights, whether against younger, hungry contenders or in exhibition bouts, have reminded the world of his enduring skills, heart, and tactical brilliance. The question now arises, could a hypothetical victory for Pacquiao tempt Mayweather out of retirement once more? Manny Pacquiao, the eternal challenger. Manny Pacquiao is no stranger to defying expectations. At 46, he continues to display flashes of the explosive, unpredictable fighter who took the boxing world by storm in the early 2000s. His speed, footwork, and power in multiple weight classes are legendary, and his ability to adapt during fights remains extraordinary. A win against a notable opponent, particularly a current or former champion, would not only reinforce his claim as one of boxing's all-time greats but would also spark significant public interest and media attention. Pacquiao's persona outside the ring, including his political career and charitable efforts, only amplifies his allure, making any potential bout with him a highly marketable event. In hypothetical terms, if Pacquiao were to defeat a younger, highly regarded fighter convincingly, the narrative would be irresistible, a 46-year-old legend overcoming the odds. The boxing media would buzz with speculation. Fans would demand a rematch against the man who eluded him for years, and promoters would smell an enormous payday. That's where Floyd Mayweather Jr. comes into play. Floyd Mayweather Jr., the business of boxing. Floyd Mayweather Jr., nicknamed Money, is as much a businessman as a boxer. He retired with an undefeated record of 50-0, having mastered both the art of boxing and the business of boxing. His return to the ring is not dictated purely by competitive desire. Financial incentives, legacy, and public demand play far greater roles. Past returns, such as exhibitions against Tenshin Nasukawa and Logan Paul, have shown that Mayweather is selective, primarily driven by high-reward, low-risk opportunities. Given this, a potential rematch with Pacquiao would need to meet several conditions. First, the fight must guarantee a massive financial payout, likely surpassing the billions generated in their first bout. Second, it must offer a narrative compelling enough to capture global attention. Mayweather thrives on creating spectacle, and nothing sells like the storyline of a comeback to face a legend still performing at a high level. The odds of a rematch. While Pacquiao's victory could set the stage, several factors would influence Mayweather's willingness. Age is a consideration. At 47, Mayweather himself is beyond the prime fighting age, but he has shown remarkable conditioning in exhibitions. Injury risk is another factor. One misstep could tarnish his perfect record and financial standing. A fight with Pacquiao would likely be framed as a high-profile exhibition rather than a professional bout, giving Mayweather the flexibility to return without jeopardizing his undefeated legacy. Furthermore, public sentiment matters. Pacquiao's win would need to be emphatic, preferably against a top-tier opponent, to justify the hype. If the narrative suggests Pacquiao has nothing left to prove, the incentive for Mayweather diminishes. Conversely, if Pacquiao proves he can still compete at the highest level, the story writes itself. Can the undefeated Mayweather overcome the man who has defied age, odds, and time? Marketing, money, and Mayweather. History demonstrates that Mayweather does not need motivation from competition alone. Money and spectacle drive his decisions. A Pacquiao victory would generate a media frenzy, sell millions of pay-per-view buys, and potentially break revenue records once again. The business equation is clear. The more compelling the narrative, the greater the financial upside. A rematch could be marketed as the legend versus the money or redemption and legacy, appealing to casual fans, hardcore boxing enthusiasts, and global audiences alike. However, Mayweather has repeatedly emphasized that he is retired, and every potential fight is carefully curated. He has turned down several lucrative offers over the years, prioritizing control over his brand and narrative. While Pacquiao's win could tempt him, there's no guarantee. Mayweather's returns are calculated risks. He needs a fight that maximizes earnings while minimizing personal exposure. Conclusion: temptation meets reality. A Manny Pacquiao win would undoubtedly stir the boxing world, reignite media frenzy, and reignite fan dreams of a rematch. It could create an irresistible storyline for Floyd Mayweather Jr., one that promises not only historic hype but also extraordinary financial gain. Yet, Mayweather is an experienced strategist who weighs risk versus reward meticulously. While Pacquiao's triumph would make a return tempting, Only the right combination of narrative, pay-per-view potential, and personal legacy considerations would convince money to step back into the squared circle. In the end, it may not be a matter of whether Pacquiao can lure Mayweather back. It's whether the fight can become so irresistible, so monumental, and so profitable that even the most disciplined and cautious man in boxing cannot say no. Boxing history is littered with comebacks, rematches, and one-off spectacles, and the Pacquiao-Mayweather narrative is perhaps the perfect storm where legend, timing, and money collide. If Pacquiao proves that age is no barrier, and fans roar for closure, the boxing world could very well witness the revival of one of its most iconic rivalries.